Now at 10, the latest on the investigation of a fire at a Joplin tire shop. Plus, the city of Pittsburgh prepares for Pitt State's home opener tomorrow with a pep rally. And a Kansas congressman visits Southeast Kansas for a ribbon cutting, celebrating $1 million investment.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Joplin tire store is heavily damaged after an overnight fire. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Authorities are investigating the cause of the fire at Ozarko Tire Center, located behind the Pilot Travel Plaza. MoDOT temporarily shut down a portion of I-43 near I-44 overnight as crews battled that fire. Employees say there were more than 1,000 new tires in that warehouse. Police in Marionville, Missouri today released the name of a person who died after a single car crash yesterday. That crash happened near the Odell and College intersection, where they found 45-year-old Carrie Metavier of Marionville. When they arrived, they say she was suffering from a medical emergency and had not sustained injuries from the crash. She later died at the hospital. Authorities have recovered the body of a Southeast Kansas man at Stockton Lake in Cedar County, Missouri. They say they found 60-year-old John Gray of Fort Scott in the Orleans Trail Cave. They say he drowned, but they don't know the circumstances. Checking in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. Actually, temperatures not that bad because we don't have much in the way of humidity. Yeah, still hot, 90, 61, normal high is 87, record 105 set back in 2000. Not much going on here. We do have some mid and upper level clouds which are starting to spray in from the southwest due to a weak little wave down through parts of Texas, but this system will start to affect us as we go through the next couple days. Tonight's going to be fine. Tomorrow in general looks pretty good. Temps are comfortable, upper 60s to lower 70s right now, and we'll drop back to about 66, 87 by noon, up to 88 by 5, but I think our high is going to be about 91, but some isolated showers, even a few thunderstorms increasing. We'll talk about that here in a bit.
The Disabled American Veterans of Joplin organization is looking for volunteers. Officials say they need drivers to help drive military veterans to the hospital and to their medical appointments. They say volunteers do not need to be veterans themselves. All they need is a driver's license and a willingness to help. Kansas Congressman Jake LaTurner visited Galena to participate in a ribbon cutting at Celtron. That's a company that builds cables and cable harnesses primarily for the military. Celtron recently invested more than $1 million in a 4,000-foot expansion of their facility.
Be badged in order to pass out of the area that we're standing in right now and move into our office areas or our manufacturing areas. You have to be badged through with a key. So that type of physical security is elemental in the believe it or not, it's included in the cybersecurity requirements.
This investment will bring increased engineering, new offices, and additional equipment to bolster tech and security. Businesses in Pittsburgh decorated their storefronts for the Paint the Town Red event. The judges announced the best decorations for each category earlier, but community favorite vote for the best one is still going on until tomorrow morning. According to Pitt State, decorating the town with the university colors and logos is a great way to welcome alumni and also the new freshmen on campus for the first home game of the season tomorrow.
Particularly the newer students who have not been on campus before, because they're able to see how much our community, our Chamber of Commerce, our city, how much they support Pittsburgh State University.
Public is welcome to join the Gorilla Fest celebration tomorrow at 4 east of the stadium. Also, as part of Paint the Town Red Week, Pitt State this evening hosted a pep rally ahead of their football home opener tomorrow. KOAM photojournalist Carrie Worthen was there.
This is an exciting day for everybody in Pittsburgh. It's the first time that a lot of people have come out since the pandemic, and so it's a great time for families to be here. The weather is gorgeous.
It just, everything about today just feels so surreal. knowing that our first game tomorrow is also so surreal. This has been my dream since before I can remember. And so being here with people that have become my best friends, I love my team so much.
You get to hear the crowd, you get to see everybody. It's nice seeing everybody come out to see you. So having all the football players, all the college athletes that are going to be participating this fall and throughout the entire year.
Our coach definitely gave us the down low on what today was going to be like, and he said, you know, expect a lot of people. Obviously, Pitt State, it's such a small town, but it's such a big community. The way the dates worked out this year have definitely shortened our preparation time a little bit. So it was definitely crunch time as soon as we got to school, as soon as we started practices. It was definitely like we hit the ground running to get ready for today and tomorrow.
I think they know that this community backs them 100%, and that Paint the Town Red is a national holiday here at in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Being here surrounded by people who don't necessarily know us personally, but who absolutely would do anything to support us is such an amazing feeling.
Go Gorillas!
The season opener game against Central Missouri kicks off at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Pittsburgh's preparing for plenty of other events. The Pittsburgh Parks and Rec Department is looking forward to their upcoming fall activities. Events in September include a dinosaur-themed date night and an adult softball slow pitch tournament.
I think coming off the COVID thing and just kind of everybody being out of the loop for a couple years is going to make it special. Obviously, a lot of us are looking forward to the cooler weather. And they're good opportunities to do a little something special maybe for your son or daughter.
Now tomorrow we're going to be live in Pittsburgh during the 5 and 6 p.m. newscast as part of our More Power to You tour. Come visit us at the Evergy Courtyard at Block 22 in Pittsburgh between the Opera House Hotel and National Bank Building facing Broadway. You can enter for a chance to win a Roku and Kansas City Chiefs tickets. Coming up, details about the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi after flooding caused the city's water system to fail. And later, how an axe throwing league could potentially put a four-stater on ESPN. Some cookies. These cookies are being recalled for possible metal contamination. D.F. Stauffer Biscuits is voluntarily recalling its 44-ounce Market Pantry white fudge animal cookies after wire metal pieces were discovered inside. Cookies were sold at Target stores all across the country. The products affected have a best buy date of February 21st, 2023. Check your pantry. Being short-staffed is becoming the new norm for restaurants across the U.S. The ongoing inflation and COVID-19 pandemic have forced a lot of restaurants to employ fewer workers than before. Now businesses are using technology to fill in the gaps, opting for kiosks and delivery over cashiers and servers. But that isn't solving everything. The nationwide labor shortage does remain a problem. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, since February of 2020, the average hourly wages for employees at restaurants rose nearly 18%. But despite the wage increases, the industry is nearly 635,000 workers short of where it was before the pandemic. People who use prescribed steroids, including inhalers, could suffer changes in the brain. A review published in BMJ Open finds steroid use is linked to changes of the structure and volume of white and gray matter in the brain. Researchers say the findings could explain the neuropsychiatric effects like anxiety, depression, mania, and delirium. Residents of Jackson, Mississippi spent another day without water today. The city has no clean water. Stores are sold out of bottled water, and there's a long line to pick up a single case of water at donation centers. Officials can't say when the issues are going to be fixed. Reporter Janet Chamlian has the latest from Mississippi's capital.
Crews installed an emergency pump at a water treatment plant in Jackson, Mississippi Wednesday, one of many fixes needed to patch the city's water crisis.
There is still a tremendous amount of work to be done.
Governor Tate Reeves says water pressure will continue to fluctuate and he has no timeline for when the water will be clean enough to drink.
I know it's not easy, nor is it fair that any of you have to deal with this.
Jackson has been under a boil water notice for more than a month. Recent flooding overwhelmed a treatment plant, leaving the city without the pressure needed to shower or flush toilets.
And everything you take for granted, now you can't take it for granted because you don't have it.
Jackson's population is 80% black, 25% live in poverty. The city, like many serving minorities, can't afford to fix this alone. Mississippi is slated to receive $75 million for water issues from the recently passed infrastructure bill, but it could cost $1 billion just to fix the problems in the city of Jackson. Residents are flocking to water giveaways, waiting in long lines for even a single case. They say the situation is unsustainable.
The city more so has to fix their issue on their end for us to feel more comfortable. It's a long line to have to constantly do this.
President Biden told Jackson's mayor he wants to help rebuild the city's infrastructure, but did not say where the funds would come from. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Jackson, Mississippi.
More parts are expected to be delivered to the water treatment plant by next Tuesday. New York City's famed Times Square has now been designated a gun-free zone. It's in response to the Supreme Court's ruling overturning the state's century-old concealed carry law that made it difficult for most people to get legal permits to carry concealed weapons. Law enforcement officers will still be allowed to carry guns in the square. The Department of Defense has listed climate change as a national security threat and is now taking steps to reduce its carbon footprint. The U.S. Army was first to unveil a sweeping climate strategy earlier this year, including a plan to build a microgrid on every base by 2035. The Army is also targeting 2030 for a 50% reduction in net greenhouse gas pollution and net zero emissions by 2050. A little bit later, four-staters look to earn their spot on ESPN at a local axe throwing tournament.
And a few rain chances sneaking back in the forecast. We'll look at that coming up. Definitely a nice Wednesday for us today. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures not bad, right around 90, but the humidity has been low, so it doesn't feel extremely hot. Of course, it is hot, but we're not dealing with extreme heat anymore. We've seen a shift in the pattern. We are almost dropped this, moving into the new pattern, and that is good news that we are seeing some changes, and at least we got rid of the extreme heat. Zooming in for us today, we had upper 80s on the Missouri side, low to mid 90s once you got into our western counties. Not bad right now. Monette 70, Grand Lake 70, Pitt 73, Neodesha is sitting at 71 degrees. In Joplin, 70, pretty much calm winds, humidity a little high at about 68%. We are seeing some mid and upper level clouds which have been kind of streaming in over the past couple hours. These are very thin, but they are going to increase as we go through the night into the morning hours. And this is due to a couple little waves, one to our north, one to our south. This north one is going to swing by over the next couple days and kind of pull some of this moisture north that is sitting down through parts of Texas. Very weak upper level wave, and it's actually been kind of working its way a little bit farther toward the west, but it will kind of scoot in. Most of the rain is going to stay to our south, but we do have chances for a few showers moving in as we go through the next couple days. Now, tonight's fine. When you wake up in the morning here, 6 a.m., looks good. We are going to have a lot of mid and upper level clouds. They're going to be very thin, so you'll see the sunshine through it. By noon, mid 80s. As we go into the afternoon, a few pop-up isolated showers, mainly in our southern counties. Of course, we got some college football games tomorrow evening, so we want these to stay south, but at the same time, we could use a little bit of rain. This is going to be fairly light, though. As we work through the evening hours, scattered showers, maybe a random isolated thunderstorm. Again, I think most of this stays to our south, just kind of hit and miss. So now we're at about midnight tomorrow night. As we go into Friday morning, still some isolated showers, mainly the southern half and the eastern section of the four-state area. On Friday, we break out. We'll see partly sunny skies. But again, Friday afternoon, of course, we're kicking off the holiday weekend. a few afternoon isolated thunderstorms. If you have outdoor activities next few days, doesn't matter. We're just going to be dodging these for the next couple days. But still, temperatures near 90 on Friday. Complex is going to try to get in Friday night into Saturday morning. Most likely start to fall apart, but we'll keep some rain chances around as we go into the morning on Saturday. 66 to start tomorrow, 87 by noon, 88 by 5, high of 91 with those isolated pop-up showers. And if we look down the road, so this top section, it's going to rain. Midsection, scattered thunderstorms. You can see we're sitting in the isolated thunder showers. So these are going to be very hit and miss as we go through the next 48 hours. 91 tomorrow, 89 on Friday, 91 on Saturday. Rain chances lasting all the way through the holiday weekend. If you're got outdoor activities or hitting the lake, it's not that big of a deal. These are going to be very hit and miss.
You say that, and someone's going to go out and get rained on.
Well, if you get rained on, it's not going to last long.
Okay,
So,
you might be wet for a while,
Yeah.
but the rain will have stopped.
exactly.
Thanks, Doug. Axe throwers in Pittsburgh are trying to hit the bullseye to potentially appear on ESPN. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The World Axe Throwing League, held by Main Street Axe Company, is gaining more popularity every year in the 4 states area.
Axe throwing has been growing in the 4 states area. It's been growing all around the country and the world. There are now people throwing axes on ESPN competitively.
Main Street Axe Company is sanctioned by the official World Axe Throwing League to hold legitimate competitions that can let throwers compete on the big stage in Minneapolis.
We do have lots of players who take their hobby here seriously. And what it means to be an affiliate is that players here who qualify through our small tournaments and our leagues get to move on to bigger tournaments, regional tournaments, and then hopefully national and world tournaments.
Even though everyone wants to be named the top axe thrower, the entire community still wants to see one of their own make it onto ESPN.
It will happen. I will be on ESPN at some point in time.
Axe throwing is not just about competing in leagues. Max enjoys sharing his hobby with his daughter.
My daughter, who's 11 years old, soaking wet, 80 pounds, can throw an axe at the target and hit a bullseye. Like, she might not hit a bullseye every time by any means, but like, she can hit it and she can stick it.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The last meet of the Axe Throwing Fall League is in October. Still ahead, we're going to hear from the Missouri Southern football team as they prepare to host a nationally ranked opponent in their season opener. And Carl Junction gets set for a Thursday night rivalry matchup with Webb City. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Well, this week is game week for Missouri Southern football. The Lions get to open the season at home tomorrow night, welcoming in the Nebraska Kearney Lopers. And this one, kind of a tough one right off the bat for Southern. The Lopers finished second in the MIAA last season and are ranked 14th in the nation entering the year. Missouri Southern is looking forward to the challenge of facing UNK in week one, and they're excited to return to the field in front of their home crowd.
I love looking up on the hill, seeing the alumni, seeing the student section. We had a nice little popsicle thing with the band. I love seeing the band come to the games and everything. We love the support of the community, and 7 o'clock kickoff, we would really love for everyone to be there.
I've always talked about the energy our football team has. And quite honestly, I've been waiting on the lull. I've been waiting on us to kind of take a dip, but you know, we've carried it through last year, and they came back this summer. They worked extremely hard, and then fall camp hit, and man, there wasn't a day we were down. I mean, our guys were amped to practice. They're excited. I think part of that is we have a group that loves football. And so when they get an opportunity to put a helmet on, when they get an opportunity to be on the field, they love that opportunity and they take advantage of it.
Well, we have a rare Thursday night COC rivalry game tomorrow night in Carl Junction. The Bulldogs welcome in the Webb City Cardinals Thursday night for their home opener. Carl Junction coming off a big win, 42-21 over Ozark in week one. On the other side, Webb City aims to bounce back from a 42-19 loss to Nixa. Now, CJ is excited to get in front of their home fans, and they're feeling confident after their success in week one.
We're definitely pumped. We're ready for this week. We all definitely believe we're going to be 2-0 by the end of the week, and we're all excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd like to carry over that running game that we had last week. We rushed for, I think, 270 yards, and and we did throw for 190 yards on only 10 attempts. So we had a nice balance there offensively, and we want to keep that this week and every week for that matter.
The St. Louis Cardinals finish up a 3-game series tonight with the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the two teams have split the first 2 games of the series, with Cincy winning Game 2 last night 5-1. So the Cards try to bounce back tonight and secure the series win. Really great game here. It's still going. St. Louis just took a 5-2 lead in the top of the 13th. Lars Nootbaar just hit a 2-run bomb. Nolan Arenado is 2 for 6 on the night with a 2-run homer of his own. In the American League, the Royals aim for their 3rd straight win, Game 2 of their series with the White Sox. Royals, they'll fall tonight 4-2. Bobby Witt Jr. goes 1 for 4 on the evening with a solo home run. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Sean Trejo served in the U.S. Army in 2006. His hometown, Pittsburgh, and we are proud to salute Private First Class Sean Trejo, a 4-state hero. Drivers in Memphis were caught up in a saucy situation, you might say, after Alfredo spilled all across the interstate. A tractor trailer crashed into a wall on Interstate 55 in Memphis, spilling gallons of Alfredo sauce onto that hot pavement. Yum, yum. Cars reportedly drove on the interstate's shoulder in an attempt to not get lost in the sauce while crews worked to clean up that mess. That would be slippery. And I imagine after a while out in that heat, it might start to have an aroma. Maybe not a pleasant one.
Yeah, may make you not want Italian food for a couple weeks.
No, get out the fire hose and rinse that away. Oh, we might get some rain in the coming days.
Yeah, and these are just going to be hit and miss, little showers and thunder showers, so no rain outs by any means, but pop-up showers and thunderstorms next few days, highs near 90.
Final sports notes.
Our Pigskin Podcast, very first episode is out now. YouTube, Spotify, our website. You can find it wherever you find your podcast.
I listened to it tonight. It's great. Yeah. More to come. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.